A 6-year-old boy went missing while on a road trip with his mother. Her body was discovered next to a disturbing note saying that her son was safe but would never be found. So what happened to Timothy Pitzen? One morning in May 2011, Timothy's father, James, dropped him off at kindergarten. An hour later, his mother, Amy, came to pick him up.
What did she say to the school when she picked him up?
They had a family emergency.
She told the teacher that they will be gone for a short while. Over the next 3 days, they drove over 500 miles. They were spotted in a zoo and a water park in Wisconsin, seemingly enjoying their time and engaging in normal activities. The whole time, Timothy's father, James, was desperately trying to get in contact with them. He only found out about the road trip when he came to pick up his son from kindergarten. This is the timeline that investigators were able to piece together. On May 12th, the mother and son were spotted on security cameras in Kalahari Resort, a water park in Wisconsin. This is the last known footage of Timothy. On May 13th, Amy called her mother and brother-in-law, telling them that Timothy and her were safe. She did not call her husband, James, who was still searching for them.
I go, Amy, what is going on? And she's like, oh, I just needed a break. And then I'll never forget this because I said, you know, why don't you just come to Waterloo? She goes, what, don't you trust me? I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to hurt Tim.
Timothy could be heard in the background of the calls saying that he was hungry.
Timothy gets on the phone with his uncle. They have a little conversation. Timothy says he's fine, he's a little hungry, but he's happy.
Later that day, Amy was seen on security footage at a dollar store in Illinois. She was alone and purchased a pen and a notebook. On May 14, 2011, 3 days into their journey, Amy was found dead in a hotel room. She was discovered by a maid with her wrists and neck slashed. It was determined that she had taken her own life. Timothy was nowhere to be found.
What do you mean Tim's not there? How could he not? Where is he?
In a note left by Amy, she apologized for the mess and explained that Timothy was safe and being cared for, but his location was a secret. You'll never find him, the note said. An extensive search was launched by law enforcement agencies involving multiple states and federal authorities. Despite the efforts, no real progress was made in locating the missing boy. Several disturbing details emerged from the investigation. A significant amount of Timothy's blood was discovered in the backseat of his mother's car. However, a family member said it could be explained due to Timothy suffering from nosebleeds. Amy's clothes, when she was last seen on surveillance video, have never been found. Timothy's car seat and backpack were also missing, raising concerns about his safety and well-being.
There was a side to your sister you never knew.
I think I knew. I knew she was depressed. I knew she had challenges.
For the next 8 years, there was no sign of the missing boy. Then, the saga seemed to come to its hopeful ending in 2019. Kentucky police received calls about a man behaving strangely in public.
He was timid, he was scared. They said, what are you doing here? Where did you come from? And he told them blatantly, I'm Timmothy Pitzen.
He alleged that he had escaped from his captors and ran across a bridge into Kentucky to get away. He described his captors as 2 white males with bodybuilder physiques. For a moment, the Pitzen family thought their nightmare was over. However, DNA tests confirmed the man was actually 23-year-old Brian Michael Reaney.
It was all a big hoax. Police say the person who claimed he was a missing Aurora teenager was lying.
He had a history of criminal activity and mental health issues and was released from jail just a few weeks earlier.
He had been watching a program on television that put the spotlight on Timothy Pitzen and became obsessed with this case and decided he wanted to be Timothy Pitzen.
Reaney was charged with making false statements to federal agents. Despite everything that happened, the family still holds on to the belief that Timothy is alive. First, they emphasize that Amy deeply cared for her son and showed love and affection towards him. Second, they highlight the methodical planning of her own death. They believe that she likely made similar comprehensive plans for her son's well-being. Questions arose as to whether her emotional state played a role in Timothy's disappearance, or if other factors were at play. Amy and James had experienced marital difficulties, and Amy battled depression prior to her tragic death.
Because she had been in such a dark place that she convinced herself the best place for Timothy was to leave this earth as well.
Numerous theories circulated throughout the investigation.
I can't see her doing that, taking his life. That's just not her.
Some speculate that Amy had orchestrated an elaborate plan to hide Timothy, potentially involving individuals who had assisted her.
She made 2 unexplained driving trips to the same area where Timothy went missing.
Others believe that Timothy had been abducted by unknown individuals based on the unsettling note left behind. Timothy would be 18 years old today.